Hi there, welcome back. Hey, we're back in the studio. We're so super lucky and super excited to be back here. So this one we'll film from the studio, but the last filming we did was in my garden. So let us know which one you preferred. Did you prefer an outdoors setting or do you like working in a studio setting? And would love to hear from you. Please add any comments below. Super excited to hear what you've got to say. So today we've brought you a flow which incorporates a bit of spinal work to warm through the spine with some beautiful sun salutations laced in there as well. Great for a warm-up or great just for a quick practice to add to help you move around for your day. If you'd like to, subscribe and click the notifications button so that you'll always be updated with all the great content that we bring you. And thank you. Enjoy. See you on the mat. Mountain pose, we'll lengthen up. And just working on the spine to start with, rolling the hands down, open up through the fronts of the chest and the shoulders, lengthen out, click, 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 and then roll the shoulders forward. Just take a spinal roll, you're going to come all the way down, taking time, engage the belly to the spine to just peel all the way down to the floor, nice and softly. We're going to hang here in our ragdoll, just curl the chin in. There's too much tension here in the backs of the legs just now. Just bend the knees. And from here, we'll come up to a halfway lift. So ignite some energy in through the belly, longer through the spine. Draw the elbows back, pushing into the legs just a little bit. And then bend the knees again, soften and roll down. And from here, even if you're not all the way down towards the floor, just walk yourself around to one side, bring some stretch down one side, and gently across, and then around to the other side. Feel the length through the back of the rib cage, and then into center. And when you're down here in your ragdoll, take hold of the elbows, and we're going to nod and shake the head. Just take any tension out of the neck. And then landing the hands into the floor, come back up in through your flat back. So walk the hands to shins, maybe a little higher into knees or into those thighs and squeeze, lengthen. Visualize one nice long line from the top of the head down into your tailbone. And then bend the knees and fold in. You're going to bring the hands to the floor, step the feet back behind you gently and drop into your knees. Now we're going to sink back into child's pose. Roll those hands forward, so stretch out through those arms. Forehead comes down. Nice and long. Soften the elbows into the ground. Coming up gently, you're going to come through here and roll forward. And then sinking back. So let's mobilize through the length of our spine. Coming into this one, let's take a tiny little press. So you're just going to lower the body down. Doesn't matter how far it comes. Doesn't have to be a full press, and down. Rolling up, dropping in, and back. And settle back into your child's pose here. We're going to walk the hands across to one side. Maybe one hand comes on top. Just feel that stretch down the side of the body. So if your shoulders feel tight in this position, just keep the hands wider. And then release through the center and come over to the other side. Hands come on top and then sinking gently down. Be sure to breathe nice and easy in through the nose, out through the nose, and then back into center. So we'll come from here up into our cat stretch, focusing on our spine, and then in through cow, looking up. So initiate this move by curling the chin into the chest, tipping the pelvis, pushing the floor away from you and rising nice and high in the shoulders. And then we drop through the spine, lifting the head, widen through your collarbones and looking up. And releasing through. One more. Big exhale. And inhale. We're just going to take this on a longer journey. So we'll come from our child's pose, sweeping those hips back to the heels and rotate, rotate. Just shake gently side to side, mobilize in through this child's pose. Back of the hips nice and long, get some stretching through the glutes. And then from here, we're looking back towards the toes and then push up through cat stretch. And then releasing back. Soften down through the forearms and then start to lift the eye gaze, lifting up, pushing up through the forearms and the hands, and then come in through your cow. So we're going cow, child's pose, cat, child's pose, all the way through, curling the chin to chest, rising up. So flexion and extension in through our spine, finding some space between your vertebrae. And just settle it back down here in your child's pose. Let's let that land. Let's try and close the space between the hips and the heels. So you can use the floor. You can push away with the floor and try to close that space. So if you feel like you're up here a bit higher, use the power in your arms just to encourage your body to go back. This way we get longer in our spine. And then coming gently up, let's find some spinal lateral flexion. So from here, we're going to work to just gaze around towards your right foot. And then gently around towards the left foot. So this is the equivalent of a side bend if we were standing. But then we're just working to rotate round, shifting the weight gently round each side and release from here. Let's work into that rotation. So inhaling, lifting up, one hand, and then sliding through. Rising up again, inhale. This time take the hand slightly behind you, towards, if you're guiding it towards the back knee. And rising up. And then this time slightly forward. So it just comes gently forward. You might need to release this hand. We're just taking that spine through every position it can go. And rising up. Inhale, exhale, reset. Just come into the other side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, rise. Being sure to support yourself in that bottom hand. And back. And rise. And rotate to the front. And then releasing up and back into center line. So we're going to tuck the toes, walk down slightly forward, tuck the toes, find your plank, and then your downward facing dog. So give yourself some time off of your knees, pedal out through those heels. Coming into just a little bit more of our extension and flexion, using the arms and legs for balancing. So we'll come down, bring our knees down, knees under hips and hands under shoulders. So right arm, left leg, lengthen out. Now go a little bit higher than you comfortably would like to, and then curling in underneath and round out through the back. Inhale, lift, high, and curl. And one more, rise, and curling in. And release it in, tuck the toes, come in through your plank, and your downward facing dog. Pedal out through those heels. And then float forward. And bringing those knees down into the other side. So you're going opposite arm, opposite leg. Lift, lift, lift a little higher, and then curling in. And rising up. Inhaling, and exhaling, curling under. And one more. Rise. And curling in. And land the hands and land the knees. Walk the feet back. Let's come into our downward facing dog again. Walking your hands back towards your feet, or your feet to your hands. Come in, walking in, whichever way you want to on your mat. Rolling gently up and restacking your spine. Standing tall, let's find our mountain pose. Hands beside you, little fingers down beside you, and then lift up. And we'll find some sun salutations now. So rolling in, bend those knees, land on towards the floor, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. You're going to step back into your plank. Nice and strong. And then tip the hips nice and high. Push back to downward facing dog. Float forward gently. Now bring the knees down and tuck your toes and hover all the way down. Leave a pocket there just gently underneath your core line and then releasing down so that belly lands last. And rising slowly up. Find your cobra. So we're lifting into the spine. This will turn into your upward facing dog. Let's just rise one more time there. Rising up. And lower. Hands are under shoulders. Pushing up through your child's pose. Tucking your toes. And then up to your downward facing dog. Bend the knees lots. You're going to walk gently into the front of your mat. Forward fold. And your halfway lift. And your forward fold. Let go of any tension in the neck. And then rising slowly up. It's a nice simple round just coming through there. Mountain pose, hands down gently, and then rise. Hands down through prayer. And we can start and finish here. Rising up, inhale. Slightly different on this round. Exhale down. Halfway lift. All the way down. We step back to our plank. Again. And then tip the hips, downward facing dog. Pedal your heels here. Find some movement gently in through your sacrum, in through those hips. Creating a little more height through one side to the other. And then we float forward, finding that vinyasa flow that moves through the middle of our sun salutations. The knees come down, exhale lower. Roll the shoulders back. So you can stay here in your cobra or find your upward facing dog if it feels good. Only one this time. Releasing, hands are in, sinking back. So from this position, stay on your knees. We're going to step, right leg comes forward into our nice low lunge. So when you step this foot forward, let's just make sure the knee is in line with the ankle. The whole of the foot is flat down towards the floor. Holding here. And let's glide the hips back. Foot comes with you maybe. And then forward. Good. One more here. Back. And forward. Good. So from here, let's tuck the toe. Give yourself some space to maneuver your leg back. Downward facing dog. Let's come through that flow again. We'll float forward. Exhale down. Knees or toes. Roll through. Upward facing dog or cobra, your choice. Squeeze. And then into our downward facing dog. And then through. Come down through knees. And bring your other leg through. Your left leg comes through this time. Flat, nice, strong, flat foot position. Hands to the inside of the foot. And then hamstring extension. forward. And one more back, just guiding those hips back behind you. Nice, walking those hands back if you need to for more stability. And forward. Good. Tucking your back toe, reaching up, giving yourself some height in your hips to send your foot back. Nice. Pedal out through your downward facing dog. And then walking your feet forward to your hands. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhaling down. And then slowly rising up, 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 up. Inhale, lift. And back into prayer. So one more round either side. Inhale, lift. Changes up slightly. Exhale, fold. Halfway. So see if from here you can float those heels gently off the ground. This gives us a little bit of edge in our balance where we're going to be moving on to. And then landing, if you need to, just fires the hamstring slightly and folding in. Okay, stepping one leg behind you, doesn't matter which one, dropping in. And your low lunge, but let's leave that back knee off the ground. Hands to the inside, finding your rotation in towards the knee. So we open up. Push the floor away from you, stack your shoulders, lengthen. And then gently release. Pushing into the foot, stepping back into your down dog. Float forward through your plank. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift and peel the front body off, knees down or up. And then tuck toes, exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. Bending your knees. You're going to bring your right leg through. Go nice and long in both legs here. So we advance into that longer leg hamstring position and then bend, looking up, forward in this lunge, and then one more long, and then bend the knees and stepping in, forward fold. Good. Halfway lift, exhaling, lowering, and rising all the way up. Inhale, hands to prayer, all the way through the center. Good, let's do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, exhale, fold. Halfway. Allow yourself to move with your breath. Exhale. Good. Stepping your leg back, finding that knee, and then twisting in. Make sure you're in the other side. Right, left confusion. Rise in towards the knee. Good. And land. Pushing back. Downward facing dog. So just check with yourself which leg you had forward, and that's the one we're going to bring forward, okay? So float forward here into your vinyasa. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. If you're feeling tired, you can just come in through this lower lifting position. Exhale, lower. Hands under. Pressing back. Inhale, bring that same leg forward. And nice long position in the back leg. Push, hips go higher and into the hamstring. So this is stronger than having our knee down, bending in. And one more, pushing back. And then bend the knees, stepping your back leg in. Nice long step. Forward fold. Just rest your head here, hold on to the elbows. Nod and shake your head. Maybe immobilize from side to side. And we're coming up through halfway. Exhaling, folding. Rising slowly up. I'm going to take one more round, just single, no leg work in this one. A little bit quicker. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Halfway. Exhale, lower. Step back to your plank. Into your down dog. Coming forward. Knees down or up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, down dog. Draw the body forward. Bring the knees down. Untuck the toes. And sink through your child's pose. Take a moment to rest. Just breathe gently in through the nose, out through the nose. Soften the shoulders. So allowing yourself to drop into your breath. So there's a little sequence there of some spinal work and some sun salutations.